Hey dudes, today I want to talk about how to use EQ automation to help keep frequencies a little more even between clips and across your whole project. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 other videos that I've already published, so you may want to go back and check those out, but if not, let's jump right into it. All right, so let's see what we have going on. Here's the first example here. What can we do to make this a little bit more clear or bright and easy for us to understand? So a muddy example. Hey dudes, here is an example of me speaking, and then a very bright example. So basically these 2 different clips have 2 different problems, and that's why we're going to use EQ automation to fix clip 1 and then clip 2, and then that will make them sound more even when you play them back to back. All right, so first things first, we got to add some kind of insert plugin EQ. We've been rocking with the 7-band EQ on this channel, and we will continue to do so. I'll move that right there. And we are going to put this track into touch. Double check that our plugin is automatable by going to this auto window that says plugin automation enable, and just make sure everything's on the right and has been added and not removed. Just as a reminder, if you always want your plugins to be automatable, you can go Pro Tools, Settings, Mixing, go down here to where it says Plugin Controls, Default to Auto Enabled. And that means anytime you add a new plugin, it will be automation enabled. You can obviously take that off if you don't want that. And then basically we're going to combine making a muddy clip more clear, making a bright clip less sharp and a little bit more toned down. And I'm about to bring in preview mode to the mix right now so that we can automate from here and here differently the way that we want to. So let's go ahead and go to Window, Automation, and I'll just bring that here for now. Okay, so just make sure that your preview button is turned on and green so that you're in preview mode. And if you remember from the other video, we basically said that this first example just has too much low mid frequency, and my magic number was 250, and we reduced around -12. Of course, you could just be using your ears and doing this in real time, but I'm just going to kind of cut to the chase because I just want to show this overall technique of balancing these frequencies, right? So preview mode, quick recap is if you're in green, that means it's capturing, it's thinking for you. We also boosted 5K by about 12. So we'll just listen again to verify. And the recording is a little bit muddy or maybe even a little bit muffled. What can we do? Okay, so we can see right away that this EQ setting or profile feels very good for this particular clip. So to close out preview mode, you make a selection. You don't want it to be playing. And you go down to this button here for Write Automation to Selected. Bada boom. Just to be clear, if I click in other places, you'll see that there is no EQ that's been done. And over here, we have the EQ that we just did. Okay, so we got this first clip rocking. It feels good. But again, here is an example of me. This one is too bright. So it's the opposite of what we just did. We just want to go to 5K and reduce by about 12. I'm still in preview mode. We're still green, it's capturing. And I'm going to do my dramatic boost of 12. Again, you're not going to always do all of these same numbers all of the time, but these are my kind of like EQ cheat sheet numbers to get me going in the right direction. Here is an example of me speaking and the recording. Okay, so again, if I bypass, here is an example of me speaking and the recording, and then unbypass, you can see that this EQ is doing some great stuff to this clip. So I'm just going to make a selection there. And I'm going to go to my button that says Write Automation to Selection. And I'm going to hit that button and OK, and we're good. So now we can just double check. There's my initial EQ setting for the clip that was too muddy. So you see we're reducing a lot of the low mids. And then there's the opposite for the clip that was too bright, and we're toning it down a little bit. So now if we play these two clips together to make this a little bit more clear or bright and easy for us to understand. Hey dudes, here is an example of me speaking, and the recording is a little bit... Okay, cool. So if we hit bypass to make this a little bit more clear or bright and easy for us to understand. Hey dudes, here is an example of me speaking. You can hear that there's a big difference between the clips. And now when I have my two different EQs changing or affecting the two different problems that I had, it's a much more smooth process between the two different clips in terms of the frequencies. All right, so you're always going to want to do some version of this. It's really critical that you're always thinking about trying to balance out frequencies, because you don't want something to suddenly jump up or jump down with too much high or low frequency or something like that. You just want it to be nice and easy going for someone listening to your project. So all we really did was, fix a muddy recording, fix a recording that was too bright, and we did that by automating EQ, and we specifically were in preview mode. And this is important because we could do it all in one track. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you're going to have like 20, 30 tracks with like very specific EQs in each track that just have like, one EQ setting on it. And then you move to the next track and then another one EQ setting on it. It's not a very professional way to deal with this. Do it all in one track, do it with automation, but it's hypercritical that you're using your ears and going, hey, those frequencies don't feel like they're balanced, and you're going to do some version of this. This is just an example that I used today, but you're going to do everything you can to balance out and make your frequencies more even from clip to clip. All right, well, I hope you get to use this in all your future projects, and I hope it helps out. Until next time, later, dudes.